number 10, we have Will Smith. So last year, actor Will Smith was issued a 10-year ban by the Film Academy after he disrupted the recent 94th Oscars by slapping presenter Chris Rock on the stage. The ban prohibits Smith from attending all Academy-related events, both virtual and in person, for a period of 10 years. It doesn't, however, make him ineligible for nominations at the Oscars. Smith had taken offense to a joke Chris made about his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, and he then walked up on the stage and in a shocking moment hit the comedian across the face. Less than an hour later, Will would then win the Oscar for Best Actor, and in his speech he would apologize for his fellow nominees in the Academy. A day later, he issued a public apology to Rock, and sometime after that, he announced his resignation from the Academy. The Academy would then come out with a statement and said the 94th Oscars was meant to be a celebration of many individuals in our community who did incredible work this past year. However, those moments were overshadowed by the unacceptable and harmful behavior we saw Mr. Smith exhibit on stage. The actor then went on to accept the decision, which means he will no longer be able to attend this year's ceremony as a presenter, as in the tradition of the Oscars. While the decision to expel a member isn't unheard of before it happened to Smith, there have actually been a handful of members expelled by the Academy. Coming at number 9, we have Paris Hilton. While Paris Hilton tends to be in attendance at almost every party, fashion show, and awards, even Paris Hilton reportedly was banned from attending the Oscars since 2008. And when the socialite first heard of the news, she surely wasn't happy about it, and she was actually devastated that she couldn't attend the prestigious award event. With a source claiming that Paris cried a lot when she found out she was banned from the Oscars, it would also be noticed that Paris was desperate to be taken seriously as an actress, and she hoped she would be able to network with the film bods. Word on the block is Paris even spent $2 million on a dress for the ceremony back in 2008 before she heard about her ban, which left her feeling so embarrassed to attend the Oscars after show parties, and even considering going in disguise due to her ban. She was even tempted to go to the parties afterwards but wear her trademark wig to save her dignity. Said that Paris would even find herself being snubbed from the event in a bid to prevent the event from turning into a down market scrum. Hi my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Coming at number 8, we have Miley Cyrus. Have you ever noticed that Miley Cyrus has been pretty much missing from all the award shows lately? Well, back in 2020, Miley would post a clip of herself from the 2013 MTV EMAs where she would be shown taking out a pre-roll from her black Chanel clutch and lighting it up on stage in the middle of her presenting duties. While sporting a bodysuit and a furry coat, she then oozed an effort amount of cool when she did the unthinkable during the show. With Miley taking a clip and posting it, she would caption the clip by saying, "Wonder why I'm not invited to award shows anymore." While the star hasn't chosen to elaborate on the video, it certainly isn't really clear if she was joking or not, but it has been some time that we've seen Miley hitting up the award shows. And it looked like her celebrity friends, like designer Alexander Wang, found the dig humorous enough. He even told the wild child to never change. Even Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Lisa would chime in to let Miley know if she ever had an award show, she would have the singer there. Whether it's true or not, we love a good Miley presenting the celebrations, as she always comes out to slay. Number 7, Kevin Spacey. After allegations made by more than 30 different individuals that Kevin Spacey had made 30 unwanted advances towards younger men, in 2017 BuzzFeed would publish allegations made by Anthony Rapp that said Kevin had made some unwanted advances towards Rapp when he was only 14. And since, more than 30 people have come forward with their own allegations against Spacey, with accounts ranging from a number of different allegations. Bringing the lawsuit to light would stand as part of a larger movement to stand up against all forms of violence. Rapp claimed that Spacey climbed on top of him at a party in New York City when he was younger. Kevin would then gladly deny Rapp's allegations, and his lawyers would create this story, in which in a large part of the made-up story would claim that Anthony was jealous of Spacey's career in the entertainment industry. And then, when more allegations started to come forward, Kevin would finally admit to his actions, but said it was okay because he was gay. Since the allegations have come forward, Kevin is now blacklisted from Hollywood, and he will no longer be allowed to attend any award shows anytime soon. Number 6, Adam Kimmel. Cinematographer Adam Kimmel is known for his work on Lars in The Real Girl. However, in 2021, Adam would find himself being expelled from the Academy following the emergence of his history after allegations came forward about his misconduct with women. Adam had been arrested twice. Both times, the allegations involved a younger female. In 2003, when he was 43 years old, he would plead guilty to making unwanted advances to a girl in New York who was around 15 and 16 years old. In 2010, Kimmel would be arrested again in Connecticut for 4th degree of unwanted advancements involving a younger person and failure to register as a SO. Due to the crimes and the hurt he inflicted on a handful of younger women, the Academy saw fit to expel Adam from the Academy and permanently place a ban on him from attending any Academy Awards. While the Academy strives on protecting the safety of their performers and guests, they couldn't guarantee that Adam wouldn't be a threat to any female in the audience, and they couldn't justify his actions and decided that he should be banned from attending the ceremonies going forward. But the fact that his crimes happened between 2003 and 2010 and the Academy still allowed him to attend the ceremonies until 2021 is actually pretty messed up. Number 5. Kevin Hart. After an old controversy from 2018 continued to dominate the headlines in 2019 after he was announced as being the host for the 2019 Academy Awards, comedian Kevin Hart publicly stepped down from his gig when a series of old homophobic tweets resurfaced. Kevin's anti-gay ideology wasn't exactly a secret before, as he devoted part of his 2010 stand-up special to describe his terror that his son would turn out to be gay and his intention to prevent it however he could. And after that year, you think Hollywood might have done some Twitter search before naming its host. And Kevin's response just hours before stepping down, he would not apologize, and he would say in a video, "Guys, I'm almost 40 years old. If you don't believe that people change, grow, evolve as they get older, I don't know what to tell you. I want to hold people in a position where they always have to justify or explain the past. Then you do. I'm the wrong guy, man. I'm in a great place, a great mature place, where all I do is spread positivity." 6 hours later though, he would reconsider and he would finally step down from his hosting gig, and then he would make a formal apology to the LGBTQ community, and you probably won't see him attending any award shows anytime soon. Number 4. Pamela Anderson. Pamela Anderson is another woman banned from the Oscars like Paris Hilton in an attempt for the award ceremony to keep things more classy. Except everything about Pamela Anderson is actually pretty classy except for her R-rated tape. Sources would confirm that Pamela would be banned from attending the ceremony so the Academy officials could prevent the evening from turning into a downmarket scrum. The inside source would also continue to say that the Academy plans to focus more on those people who have worked in the film industry for years, not people who were merely celebrities in other areas. But Pamela has been in the industry since 1991, when she landed her most major acting gig on Baywatch and gave us the iconic red bathing suit look. So to say that she couldn't be at the Oscars because she wasn't in the film industry for years would just be absurd. But then other sources would come forward to say the decision to ban certain stars is down to the fact that Hollywood's Kodak Theater holds less than half the capacity of the previous venue, and even high-profile stars are struggling to secure tickets to the event. But if that's the real case, why would the Academy even think it was a good idea to downgrade their venue to one of the biggest award shows of the year? Number 3. Carmine Carditi. The Godfather star Carmine Carditi was banned from the Oscars after he was summoned by the FBI. While Carmine's strength as an actor got him steady work for many years, eventually earning him his membership in the Academy. As a member, he was actually pretty inappropriate to viewers. Eventually, trouble would come to town when Russell Prague visited Chicago and was introduced to Carmine by another member of the Godfather Part 3 cast. When Carmine mentioned that he was able to watch screeners for the latest film, Russell was somehow able to talk him into sharing these screeners with him. As part of Carmine's agreement with the Academy, this was not allowed. Even so, Carmine decided to still go along with it as he wanted to share his privileged position with a friend. This would work out well for time, but things quickly began to spiral out of control when the FBI got involved. Rather than a harmless movie fan Carmine thought Russell was, he actually turned out to be one of the most notorious film pirates in the country. Instead of watching the movies, he would copy them and distribute them to the internet. With both men being taken in by the FBI, Carmine would find himself being sued by Columbia Pictures and Warner Brothers, and he would become the first person ever banned from the Academy. Number 2. Roman Polanski. Movie director Roman Polanski would end up being expelled from the Academy of Motion motion pictures, arts, and sciences over charges of unwanted advances on younger women. Back in August of 2020, Roman would lose a court bid to be reinstated as a member. Roman, who won an Oscar in 2003, would be banned by the Academy in May 2018 because of a long-standing criminal case which dates all the way back to 1977. The director then argued in a civil lawsuit he was denied by the Academy when it decided to expel him under a code of conduct drawn up in response to his unwanted advancement misconduct allegations against dozens in the entertainment industry. The Los Angeles Superior Court Judge Mary H. Strobel wrote in a ruling that Polanski was given the opportunity to present any evidence he deemed relevant to the Academy, including a lengthy brief from his attorney and a video statement. While Roman has continued to deny his misconduct, he did win an Oscar in 2003 for The Pianist. But I think we were all pleased when the court confirmed that the Academy's procedure to ban him from the awards ceremony was both fair and reasonable. And coming in at number 1 today, we have Britney Spears. Britney Spears has found herself being barred from the Oscars since 2005, and since she's even been banned from attending all the celebrity-filled pre-Oscar parties. While Britney has been desperate to dress up and snare an invite to one of several glitzy bashes that are happening across LA, she's been met with a stony and embarrassing silence from the organizers. Britney is definitely still a big name in Hollywood, and a lot of people in town know her for all the wrong reasons. While the Oscars has chosen to snub her from pretty much anything, they claim it's because she's a car crash waiting to happen, and organizers don't want to take the risk of her showing up and creating a scene. With every celebrity battling to secure the most high-profile guest, Britney is being seen as a gamble no one wants to take, with one source saying her presence at any party would instantly generate lots of publicity, but while it's tempting to send out an invite, it's a hassle they don't really want. There's also still been a mounting concern among fellow A-listers of Britney's mental health, and they feel like the parties would still be too much for Britney, and her fragile state might just tip her over the edge if she was to attend. While Britney was definitely devastated over the snubs, she definitely has a lot to look forward to as she's back in the studio creating some major bangers. Coming in at number 10 today, we have Miss Finland. Beauty contestant model Miss Finland, commonly known as Erica Helen, has claimed that she was kicked out of a restaurant because of her inappropriate outfit. Erica, who has competed in numerous national modeling contests, said a jerk of a security guard booted her from a restaurant because of her attire. After Erica claims her outfit in question featured her wearing a bralette top, which she paired with a black miniskirt, heels, and a matching bag, Erica was in the restaurant focusing on a good-natured conversation with her friends when the security guard suddenly approached her table to take her out of the restaurant, and he told her she had to leave. When Erica gathered her stuff and walked out of the bar without objecting in any way, the security guard started to criticize her outfit of choice. While Erica noticed that she could have just grabbed another shirt from a store if the outfit was pointed out right away, she also said in her opinion it is contradicting to even take in a customer if the outfit is not suitable, and that it's no longer appropriate to change your minds after and humiliate the customer in the process. While it still remains a mystery to why the security guard behaved so aggressively with her, Erica felt really threatened by the whole situation. While the manager of the restaurant has come out to make amends with her, he's also guaranteed that he will retrain his staff on how to handle this situation better next time. And number 9, Britney Spears. In 2007, Britney Spears would find herself in a throw of prolonged and public episodes of apparent mental health breakdowns. And in one of them, she made a spectacle of smearing food across her face in a restaurant in Los Angeles. Other diners present, including fellow pop diva Victoria Beckham, mentioned to the staff that Britney was acting really strange when she started to play dress up with her dinner. Eventually, the staff intervened and escorted Britney from her table and outside of the restaurant hotel, and she would then be informed that she was no longer welcome on the hotel grounds. While her sin wasn't her behavior itself, it was because of her unapologetic nature of her behavior that really didn't sit well with the restaurant staff. Her restrictions, however, were finally lifted after Spears cleaned herself up and agreed to follow the dress code of not playing dress up with her food, as she was pictured celebrating her 28th birthday there 2 years after the incident occurred. While no one really knows the reason behind Britney's breakdown, down. It's been hinted that if you want to get away with certain actions at Chateau Marmont, then you have to be really mum about your antics, and if you get caught, you have to be playfully vague about it. However, noting that there was absolutely no way Britney could have gotten away with playing dress up with her food, especially since she was saying it was so good while doing it. Hey Peaches, are you enjoying this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And number 8, Rita Ora. After gathering too much attention from a selection of revealing outfits, Rita Ora was reportedly banned from wearing anything too risky on future episodes of The Voice if she wanted to stay on the show. According to The Sun, the singer was ordered by BBC bosses in 2015 who are said to have frowned upon her outfits that included a nipple-bearing sheer top, a shirt that had a graphic image of breast, and while promoting her debut on The Voice ahead of the season that year, she attracted complaints when she appeared on The One Show in a deep plunging top. While the bosses didn't really get involved when viewers complained about the revealing suit, they did feel like the t-shirt was too close to the mark and her see-through top took her right over the top. However, while Rita agreed to sport a tamer look, she would state that she wasn't going to dress like a nun because that wasn't her style. And number 7, Miley Cyrus. Miley Cyrus would find herself banned from the cover of US Vogue following her raunchy VMA performance with Robin Thicke back in 2013. While the singer had already posed for the December cover, Anna Wintour decided to axe her shoot. With Anna finding the whole performance extremely distasteful, she decided that based on Miley's VMA's performance to take the cover in a different direction. The high-profile editor was at first behind Miley taking the prestigious cover and was eager for the shoot to go ahead. While it makes sense that Miley would be the cover of the issue since it was coming out in October at the same time her album was coming out, after she had another wardrobe malfunction in Paris, she could kiss her cover goodbye. When Miley was spotted out posing for photographers, despite making another wardrobe malfunction for the paparazzi, Miley would then lift her arm to wave at fans waiting outside when her top slipped down. Not only did she not have a problem with her wardrobe malfunction, however, Anna Wintour would think differently, and she would then go on to cancel Miley's issue from appearing that year. And number 6, Beyonce. From music royalty to a powerful businesswoman, Beyonce is a household name with superstar status. While being one of the most famous women in the world, she too has even had some controversial moments. While it's not uncommon for celebrities to be banned from other countries due to their publicized actions, it may come as a surprise to some in the Beehive that Beyonce is one of them. When Malaysia issued a ban on Beyonce from ever touring, performing, or entering the country with the country's strict Muslim leadership, Beyonce would be deemed too sexy for Malaysia. Beyonce was scheduled to perform in Malaysia in 2007, but due to her inappropriate outfit concerns, it would lead to her ban and she would have to cancel her performance in the country. According to a BBC report, female performers at Malaysian concerts are required by government rules to cover up from shoulders to knees and have no cleavage showing. Since Beyonce is known for her confidence and sexy performance, it was understandable to why the country thought it was a good idea to ban her. However, it was kind of ridiculous to have such strict and permanent ban for a celebrity who was most likely going to follow the country rules so she wouldn't offend anyone. And number 5, Janet Jackson. In 2004, Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake formed during the Super Bowl halftime show. During the performance, Janet had a wardrobe malfunction after Justin pulled a part of her outfit down. The moment would then become a huge controversy. While both singers apologized for the incident, Jackson would be banned from attending the 2004 Grammy Awards. While Justin, on the other hand, was able to attend the show that year and he was able to issue an additional apology at the event. While Janet has apologized by saying the decision to have my costume revealed at the end of my halftime show performance was made after the final rehearsal, MTV was completely unaware of it. It was not my intention for it to go as far as it did. I apologize to anyone I offended, including the audience, MTV, CBS, and the NFL. Janet was also so heavily punished for her accidental wardrobe malfunction because they did not believe that the wardrobe malfunction was an accident. While both Justin and Janet were both initially banned from the Grammys, Justin would be allowed to perform at the Grammys after he had a tearful apology for the incident. As a result, Janet, for not taking sole responsibility for the incident, was ordered Viacom properties and MTV and all Viacom-owned radio stations had to stop playing Janet's songs in music videos. The fallout of the event then drastically affected Janet's career. And number 4, Nikita Dragun. When Nikita Dragun was on vacation in Miami back in November, what was meant to be a chill vacation would result in Nikita finding herself being arrested at the Good Time Hotel. In a police report obtained by TMZ, it would describe a chaotic scene in which Nikita was walking around the pool wearing no clothes. After the staff repeatedly asked her to put on clothes, Nikita would opt to pour water on the hotel workers instead. Later, after police responded to the phone call, they would head to Nikita's hotel room, where she would then pour water on them as well, and this would lead to her arrest. While Nikita was being held at a male jail until her bail was set at $2,000 by a judge in court, her placement was really controversial because Nikita is legally a woman, and being held in a prison housed with only men was a clear violation of her human rights. Upon being released, she would then be set to appear back in Miami court again in December, and she was only allowed to go back to the Good Time Hotel to collect her things alongside of a supervising officer. Due to Nikita disobeying the hotel's dress code and refusing to follow their instruction, she would also find herself permanently banned from the hotel. And number 3, Lady Gaga. Now, Lady Gaga has a knack for attracting attention, and sometimes it's because of her very controversial costume choices. When Lady Gaga was touring Asia in 2012, she chose not to tone down her show despite some of the country's protests. With there being only a minor opposition, Gaga would find her Born This Way tour show being cancelled in Indonesia by national police after they refused her a permit for what they called safety reasons. The police would then say her outfits are too sexy, indulgent, and erotic. It's said that the move to refuse Gaga's permit is thought to be in response to a protest by the National Council, the top Islamic body in Indonesia. While the police itself had no problem with Lady Gaga, the Islamic Defenders Front political organization claimed that Gaga's dance moves were vulgar and it would corrupt young people, and they even threatened to deploy 30,000 members to physically prevent Lady Gaga from getting off the plane. Although much of Indonesia is politically moderate, the Islamic Defenders Front has become increasingly vocal, and they even thanked the police for banning Lady Gaga's show. With human rights groups seeing this move as a dangerous step back from the country, they have even expressed concern. And the show's promoter expressed sadness that the country was not mature enough to be able to separate their own moral values from the arts and culture. And number 2, Kendall Jenner. In 2014, Kendall Jenner's risky Marc Jacobs runway appearance during the New York City Fashion Week would officially be banned from Instagram after the reality TV star strutted down the Marc Jacobs runway with her top half exposed amid the backlash would result in Instagram to remove the image from the photograph sharing website. With the photo violating Instagram's guidelines, Kim first tried posting Kendall's picture to her Instagram after she noticed Instagram deleted the photos. She would say, "Can Instagram just delete your photos?" Maybe Kendall Jenner was too hot for Instagram. While both Kim and Khloe both posted the photographs of their sister's top half fully exposed without an undergarment on the Marc Jacobs runway, one fan attempted to explain the backlash that Kendall's outfit was receiving by saying, "We're not hating Khloe, she just needs to cover up, she doesn't need to dress like that." And Khloe responded to the tweet by saying it's a fashion show, she doesn't choose. Many fans found it even quite weird that even Kris Jenner posted the picture. As if any of us posted a picture like that, I don't think any of our mothers would have been proud of our risky behavior being displayed for the whole world to see on a site that children use. While the photo would go on to be banned on Instagram, it seems like Instagram would then start to be more strict about the content that you can post on its platform. And coming in at number 1 today, we have Bruce Springsteen. Bruce Springsteen and his E Street Band guitarist would find themselves being thrown out of Disneyland in 1983 after they were caught violating the park's dress code. According to the memoirs written by both musicians, the E Street entourage would find themselves thrown out of Disneyland after they refused to remove their bandanas that they were wearing. Bruce wrote in his Born to Run autobiography that the Disneyland security team was extremely worried that Bruce and his guitarist, Steven, would be misidentified as a gang member if they didn't remove their bandanas. While both were shouting, "We're out of here," Bruce would recall shouting, "We're going to Knott's Berry Farm." However, they couldn't even get into Knott's either due to the same reason. In a letter Steven wrote in 1983, he would say, "At Disneyland, enforcing this ridiculous law is also an attack on the rock and music and all the people who believe in it. They're telling me nobody rocks in the Magic Kingdom. Nobody expresses their individuality in the Magic Kingdom except maybe the guy in the rodent suit. It is time to boycott Disney until the vague and unfair unfair dress code they enforce is abolished once and for all. However, even today it seems like you just can't wear anything to Disneyland, as they'll turn you around and ask you to buy clothes from one of their many expensive shops.
And at number 10, Khloe Kardashian. The Met Gala is a place that is usually full of Kardashians. Kim, Kylie, and Kendall are always a mainstay, with momager Kris also usually getting an invite. But fans have noticed over the years that Khloe and Kourtney have never attended the event, even though they could be considered more famous than some other celebrities that have made the cut. Insiders revealed that at first, Anna never wanted any of the Kardashians at the event. But over time, Kim, Kylie, and Kendall impressed Anna with their fashion, and she believed they were influential enough to be invited. Unfortunately, Khloe never made the cut, and insiders claim that Anna believed Khloe was, quote, too C-list to be invited to the event. After Khloe was once again not present at the 2021 Met, a rumor started that Khloe was actually banned from the event altogether. A fan tweeted at Khloe, quote, "Khloe, now that you are online, please tell us if the Met Gala rumors are true, because I'll burn that dinosaur's bones." Khloe then responded, quote, "Absolutely not true." She meant about the ban. Although if she was banned, I'm not sure she would exactly know about it. And at number 9, Donald Trump. One of the only people we can be sure will not be invited to the Met Gala is none other than former President Donald Trump. Although I should say he'll never be invited again, because Trump has attended the Met Gala in the past. However, his political run changed that for him, and since he is hated by most of the Hollywood elites, it makes sense they would not want to party it up with him at the Met. This ban was confirmed when Anna Wintour, the legendary editor of Vogue that is in charge of the guest list, revealed it on The Late Late Show with James Corden. In 2017, during one of Corden's segments, Spill Your Guts or Fill Your Guts, Corden asked who Wintour would never again invite to the event, and she was quick to answer, Donald Trump. Since she was not shy to reveal it to the public, I'm sure she won't be going back on her word in the future. And at number 8, Demi Lovato. Demi Lovato had a terrible time at the 2018 Met Gala, and for that reason, even if they were invited again, I doubt they would actually go. During an interview with Billboard in 2019, Demi said how awful the Met Gala was, saying, quote, "I had a terrible experience. This one celebrity was a complete bitch and was miserable to be around. It was very cliquey. I remember being so uncomfortable that I wanted to drink." At this time, Demi was fighting to stay sober, so it was incredibly concerning that this event almost ruined all their progress. After the event, Demi revealed they went directly from the gala to an AA meeting, saying, quote, "I changed my clothes, but I still had my diamonds on. Millions of dollars of diamonds on in an AA meeting. And I related more to the homeless people in that meeting who struggled with the same struggles that I deal with than the people at the Met Gala." To make matters even worse, days after the gala, Demi got in a feud with Nicki Minaj when Minaj did not tag Demi in a group photo, clearly hinting that Nicki was the person who made it such a bad time for Demi. And at number 7, Amy Schumer. Another person who did not keep their negative feelings to themselves was comedian Amy Schumer. During an interview with Howard Stern in 2016, Schumer shared how awful the experience was, although she was of course grateful to be invited. During the interview she said, quote, "It's people doing an impression of having a conversation. I don't like the farce. We're dressed up like a bunch of effing a-holes. I don't like it. I have no interest in fashion. I don't care." She even claimed that the event felt like a punishment rather than a privilege. She continued, quote, "I left earlier than I should have been allowed. I got to meet Beyonce and she was like, 'Is this your first Met Gala?' And I was like, 'It's my last.'" And at number 6, Tim Gunn. Tim Gunn is a legendary fashion critic who made the mistake of criticizing the Met Gala, and after that he was of course never asked back. When Gunn was asked about going to the gala in 2016, he replied, quote, "It's very true, it's a crazy story, and as far as I'm concerned, it's a very matter-of-fact story. I was asked what's the most unforgettable thing I've ever seen in fashion, and I said, it's easy. It was watching Anna Wintour being carried down 5 flights of stairs by 2 bodyguards, 2 big hulking men, from a fashion show. All hell broke loose, it was insane. We've had an open war ever since." Since Gunn trashed the legendary Anna Wintour, his name has been blacklisted from every event since. And it's a clear snub, since it's natural to assume he would be invited to the high fashion event. Halfway number 5, Gwyneth Paltrow. Gwyneth Paltrow is another celebrity who openly slammed the award show and paid the ultimate price. After Paltrow attended the Met in 2013, she told the Kylie and Jackie O show that, quote, "It sucked. Ouch." She continued that it seems like it would be the best thing in the world, adding, quote, "You always think, oh my god, it's going to be so glamorous and amazing, and you're gonna see all these people, and then you get there and it's so hot and it's so crowded and everyone's pushing you. I think we're all a bit old to dress up punk." Apparently these comments did not go over well, and Paltrow and Wintour had a minor feud in the years that followed. But over time the pair were able to make up, and Paltrow was invited to the 2017 Met. In at number 4, Zayn Malik. In my opinion, it's not a shock to see Zayn Malik on this list, because he's been very open about his hatred for snooty events like this. However, he attended the Met once because of his supermodel ex-girlfriend Gigi Hadid. After attending once in 2016, he was over it and has not attended since. He told GQ in 2018 about skipping the event, quote, "I'd rather be sitting at my house doing something productive than dressing up in really expensive clothes and being photographed on a red carpet. To do the self-indulgent, look at me, I'm amazing thing on the red carpet, it's not me." I'm sure Wintour did not like the harsh statement, along with the awkward headlines that came from Gigi Hadid walking the red carpet alone while they were dating. In at number 3, Tina Fey. Tina Fey does not care at all about events like the Met, and she's made that abundantly clear when she publicly trashed the prestigious event. Back in 2015, the comedian told David Letterman, quote, "I've gone to it once and it's such a jerk parade. Clearly I'll never go again. But you go and it's this beautiful space and it's just like every jerk from every walk of life is there wearing something stupid. You walk up these huge steps and I went in and dragged my husband along with me too, which I'm still in trouble for." From this statement, she clearly banned herself, and she's completely fine with never going back. Fey didn't stop there either, adding, quote, "If you had a million arms, all the people you'd want to punch are there." In at number 2, Kim Kardashian. Of course, this ban did not last because Kim and the other members of the Kardashian family are a mainstay at the event these days. But back when Kim was just a measly reality TV star trying to become an A-list celebrity, Anna Wintour made it clear that she would never be invited. A source revealed back in 2012 that Anna was reportedly adamant about keeping the reality show star off her guest list, bluntly stating, quote, "Anna hates Kim. Why would she be invited to the event? It's all the biggest stars in the world and Kim doesn't fit that bill at all," a source told Page 6. But of course, once Kim upped her style game and became a key figure in fashion, it was impossible not to have her attend. And finally at number 1, Coco Rocha. This is definitely the shadiest on this list, because Coco Rocha was banned after getting on the bad side of one of the event's co-chairs. Pretty much all of the time, Anna Wintour has sole control over the guest list and doesn't let outside voices have an effect on her decisions. But that changed in 2017 when she allegedly let one of her co-chairs ban someone. That year, Katy Perry helped host the event, but she never forgot the time supermodel Coco Rocha accused her of being a copycat, and she used her newfound power at the Met to make sure she got her payback. The drama started back in 2013 at the MTV VMAs, where Katy Perry wore the same Emmanuel Ungaro that Coco had donned at the year's Met Gala a few months before. Rocha then joked about the copying in an interview, and that was clearly enough to get her on Perry's very bad side. In at number 10, Kanye West. Kanye West and Coachella have a difficult history. In early 2022, when Kanye got in a feud with Trevor Noah, a petition was started demanding that Kanye be banned from performing at Coachella in the future. The petition was launched March 17th and racked up more than 29,000 signatures, calling for Kanye to be removed from the festival's lineup. The description of the petition states, quote, "No one seems to want to stand up to him, Kanye, and the ones that do, he puts under fire as well. Coachella should be ashamed of themselves and should not be giving him any more of a platform. Please sign and share." Although Coachella did not give in to this petition, Kanye did not end up performing at the festival, as he decided to drop out just 2 weeks before the occasion. A source told E! that West dropped out to, quote, "focus on himself." The festival was adding too much pressure to him amid his Kim Kardashian divorce. Since Kanye left them hanging last minute, it makes sense they would not call on him to headline ever again. In at number 9, Travis Scott. After the Astroworld Festival tragedy took the lives of over 10 Travis Scott fans, many festivals were reconsidering having Scott on their roster. One of the most talked about festivals was Coachella, where Scott was set to perform later that year. However, after Astroworld, many petitions popped up asking the festival to cut him from their lineup. The most popular Change.org petition racked up over 60,000 signatures in a matter of days. In the weeks that followed, Coachella officially announced that they dropped him as a performer. According to Variety, Coachella told the rapper's agent, Cara Lewis, that it intended to remove him from the lineup and would pay a fee to have him no longer perform, since at the time controversy surrounding the rapper was too much for the festival to take on, specifically since safety and security are the most important aspects of any festival. In at number 8, Radiohead. The band Radiohead did the unthinkable and walked off the Coachella stage during their performance after the performance was plagued with issues. The band headlined the 2017 show, but during the performance the band experienced tons of issues with the sound. First, the sound went out during a performance of their song 15 Step, and it was so bad they decided to leave the stage to regroup. When they eventually came back, they started to play the song Let Down, but they were forced to walk off stage yet again after the sound cut out. When the band returned, frontman Tom York addressed the issue, Billboard reported, quote, asking the crowd, "Can you actually hear me?" He then added, quote, "I'd like to tell a joke to lighten the mood, but we're Radiohead, so F that." The band ended up playing the rest of the 2-hour set with minor interruptions, but the fans were outraged with Coachella for not fixing the sound issues immediately. Since the band made this festival look bad, there's a high chance they won't be asked back. In at number 7, Sly Stone. The funk legend performed at the 2010 Coachella Festival, but the performance was overshadowed by a strange rant from the singer. In the end, LA Weekly called the performance a, quote, sad spectacle. The singer was reportedly homeless less than a year before his Coachella performance that was supposed to be his big comeback, but it was a complete disaster. During this performance, Stone cut his songs short, asked how long he had to stay on stage to get paid, and went on a rant about his former manager Jerry Goldstein. The rant against Goldstein was so bad that the manager ended up suing Stone for slander because Stone claimed it, quote, implied he was a thief. Stone then countersued Goldstein as well as an entertainment attorney for diverting royalties owed to him, and he actually won $5 million in 2015. Even though he ended up winning this dispute, the spectacle caused long-term damage to his reputation and Coachella for hosting the disaster. In at number 6, The Cure. In 2009, while The Cure was performing at Coachella, the band went way over time. It was so bad that the festival was forced to pull the plug. Midnight is the usual cutoff point for the festival. When The Cure was on stage, they decided they did not want to follow this rule. Instead, they refused to stop playing and thought they would be able to carry on for their fans. But it's not that simple. Coachella is so strict about their midnight cutoff point that they decided to pull the plug on the band so their set would end. While the band was performing the song Boys Don't Cry, the festival pulled the plug on the instruments. Then they blasted field lights all over the crowd to let them know it was time to go. Reportedly, the band still kept playing and some fans rushed to the front of the crowd to hear the final notes of the song unplugged. But clearly after breaking the rules, the band is not allowed back. Halfway number 5, CeeLo Green. CeeLo Green appeared at the 2011 Coachella Festival, but his behavior left a lot of fans frustrated. First, he showed up about 30 minutes late to the set, which led to many fans booing him and even deciding to leave. When he did finally show up, he only had 20 minutes left for his set. Instead of taking accountability, he decided to blame his lateness on the festival. He came to the stage and said, quote, "Sorry guys, I just landed. Y'all still gonna party with me? I only have 20 minutes. It ain't my fault. They should have given me a better time slot." He only played 5 songs before the sound was cut and he walked off stage. At first, when the music stopped, his band seemed shocked, but then CeeLo walked off as he was booed. All in all, it was a disastrous performance and he was not asked back. And at number 4, Louis Tomlinson. Louis got in some hot water when he decided to call out the festival for not having enough bands. When the 2018 lineup was announced, the singer took to Twitter and asked, quote, "Where the F are all the bands? It's a festival." That year, all 3 headliners were solo acts, which clearly did not sit well with the singer, who rose to fame through his boy band One Direction. In the end, tons of people on Twitter commented back that there were a lot of bands on the list, so his criticism was not really accurate. Nothing more was ever really said about it after the fact, but I'm sure the festival did not like being called out like that. And at number 3, Kelly Berglund. Disney actress Kelly Berglund was arrested at the 2016 Coachella Festival for trying to use a fake ID. The 20-year-old star apparently tried to meet up with some of her friends in a 21+ area. When she tried to use the fake, she was caught by police. She was then arrested, slapped with a citation, and got her mugshot taken. But she was quickly sent back to the festival where she got to enjoy the rest of the weekend. She was spotted at the Paper Magazine party the next night, so clearly she still had a good time. And at number 2, Gerard Butler. In 2012, Gerard Butler was one of the most talked about celebrities at Coachella, because the actor was accused of hooking up with a random woman in a porta potty at the festival. At the time, Butler was fresh out of rehab for his substance issues, however he was apparently not shy at all around the women. One source told Perez Hilton that Butler and a brunette woman were, quote, grinding like they were at a middle school dance and getting very handsy. Then all of a sudden the pair made their way to a porta potty. Then after a while the pair came back out and joined the festival once again. The source continued that he, quote, didn't seem to care who was watching. And finally, number 1, Justin Bieber. While Justin Bieber was in his rebellious era in 2015, he started a scene at Coachella. While Drake was on stage performing, Bieber tried to get into a VIP area of the stage, but that area happened to be at full capacity. When security told Justin he was not allowed in because of this capacity issue, he threw a fit and started screaming at the guards. Bieber yelled that he was invited by Drake himself and refused to leave. That's when a security guard grabbed Justin and put him in a chokehold. Then after that altercation, Justin left. E! News also reported that year that Bieber, quote, caused an enormous scene and threw a fit when Kendall Jenner wasn't allowed into a party because she was too young. All in all, it's clear that Justin was very entitled at this time, and I'm sure he got a stern warning from Coachella that his behavior would not be allowed at the festival. And at number 10, Adele. Adele shaded the NFL in 2016 when she revealed that she rejected their offer to perform at the 2017 halftime show. In August of 2016, Adele took the opportunity during her show at Las Vegas' Staples Center to set the record straight about if she would be the star of the next year's halftime. And she said it was a hard pass. She said, quote, "First of all, I'm not doing the Super Bowl. I mean, come on, that show is not about music. And I can't dance or anything like that. They were very kind, they did ask me, but I did say no." And from that standpoint, I get what she's saying. Adele is known for her iconic ballads, not the insane shows that are generally put on at the Super Bowl. This was not the end though. The NFL came back with their own shady dig, claiming that they never actually offered her the halftime show in the first place. Clearly someone is lying, but either way, that relationship is torn. And at number 9, Jay-Z. Jay-Z is another star who turned down the chance to perform at the Super Bowl halftime show, and he revealed the reason why in a song. In the song Ape Shit, that was made in collaboration with his wife Beyonce, he rapped, quote, "I said no to the Super Bowl. You need me, I don't need you. Every night we're in the end zone, tell the NFL we're in stadiums too." He also took the time to call out the Grammys as well, as he feels he has not been respected by that organization. The source reported that Jay said no to the 2018 halftime show, which Justin Timberlake ended up doing. But it's clear he's not done with the organization altogether. In 2019, Jay-Z's company Rock Nation made a deal to team up with the NFL for a multi-year partnership intended to, quote, "enhance the NFL's live game experiences and to amplify the league's social justice efforts." This role means that Jay-Z plays a role in selecting who performs at the halftime shows in the future. And at number 8, Rihanna. Rihanna passed up the Super Bowl show in 2019 because she wanted to stand in solidarity with San Francisco 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick's "Take a Knee" movement. Rihanna commented directly on her reasoning for not taking part, telling Vogue, quote, "I couldn't dare do that. For what? Who gains from that? Not my people. I just couldn't be a sellout. I couldn't be an enabler. There's things within that organization that I do not agree with at all, and I wasn't going to go out and be of service to them in any way." Rihanna usually doesn't comment on things like this, but it's clear she wanted everyone to know the reason that she did not want to perform was because of the NFL. That year, the organization struggled to book a performer, and in the end, Maroon 5 and Travis Scott agreed. And at number 7, the Red Hot Chili Peppers. In 2014, Bruno Mars ran the halftime show and decided to bring out the Red Hot Chili Peppers as one of his guests. The band and Mars performed Give It Away, and everyone loved it. However, during the performance, fans on TV realized that the bass and guitars were not plugged in, making it clear it was not actually a live performance. The band started to get tons of backlash, and people were angry that they didn't play live as they had claimed they would. The bassist later made a statement which revealed, quote, "When we were asked by the NFL and Bruno to play our song, Give It Away at the Super Bowl, it was made clear to us that the vocals would be live, but the bass, drums, and guitar would all be pre-recorded." The band's guitarist also doubled down, revealing that every band in the last 10 years has also performed to a recorded track, because there's way too much room for error with a real live performance. I'm sure the NFL did not like that the band revealed a coveted secret like that, and since that revelation, fans have looked down on the legitimacy of the performances. And at number 6, MIA. MIA made a huge mistake while performing with Madonna at the 2012 Super Bowl that not only cost her career, but forced her to pay up a massive lawsuit. During Madonna's halftime slot at the 2012 Super Bowl, she brought out her collaborators on the song Give Me All Your Lovin', MIA and Nicki Minaj. But the great night came to a crashing halt after MIA flipped the bird at the end of the performance, and millions of viewers at home saw. The league was so outraged by the decision that they decided to sue MIA for $16 million. The suit was settled between parties for an undisclosed amount. She claimed the finger was a, quote, "display of female empowerment through being punk rock." Madonna later commented that she had no idea it even happened until much later, and she was really surprised to learn that it happened. In the end, MIA is clearly never allowed back, and I wouldn't be surprised if she was never allowed to perform anywhere. Halfway number 5, Fergie. Fergie is known for making all of her performances original, but many didn't expect that to be the case when she's singing songs like the national anthem. Fergie made us all cringe when she tried out a new rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner, and we all just wanted to make it stop. But that was not the first time a cover of hers went wrong. In 2011, Fergie and the Black Eyed Peas hosted the Super Bowl halftime show, and they brought out special guest Slash during a performance. In between performing Black Eyed Peas songs, Fergie and Slash performed a rendition of Sweet Child of Mine that had fans in uproar. As we know, Fergie likes to put her own spin on classic songs, but this one was not received well. It was the third song in an 8-song set list, which Rolling Stone described as the worst Super Bowl halftime show of all time. So I would assume the fans do not want her back. And at number 4, themed halftime shows. Back in 1995, the NFL decided to change up the halftime show in a big way. Instead of having a celebrity performer like usual, they worked with Disney to create an Indiana Jones themed show. In 1995, Disney unveiled its Indiana Jones Adventure Temple of the Forbidden Eye ride, and they felt the best place to promote this new ride was at the 1995 Super Bowl halftime show. Disney came on board as the producer of the NFL's chief spectacle, and it was pretty goddamn strange. The 11-minute show was somewhat of a musical theater performance. First, we see Patti LaBelle lip-syncing to a random song. Then Indiana Jones and Marion Ravenwood show up via parachute and have to fight their way through a horde of ninjas. Then they grab the Vince Lombardi trophy and run away. Then the performers sing "Can You Feel the Love Tonight?", which felt like a strange choice. Thankfully, there was no mishaps during the performance, but we're glad something like that did not ever happen again. And at number 3, Eminem. Eminem performed with 4 other artists during last weekend's Super Bowl show. The show featured performances from iconic hip-hop artists including Eminem, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, and Mary J. Blige. In the middle of the show, while Dr. Dre was playing a piano, Eminem took a knee and put his hand over his head. Many took this as a sign of Eminem's support of Colin Kaepernick's Take a Knee initiative. This is even more controversial because it was reported that the performers were banned from taking a knee during the show, and anti-police language was taken out of many of the songs during the show. Eric Gardner reported on Sunday, quote, "The league nixed a plan by Eminem to kneel, Colin Kaepernick style." Eminem has not clarified his intention since the buzz started, but I think it's clear what he was doing, and because he defied the NFL's rules, he will not be asked back to perform. And at number 2, Jennifer Lopez. After J-Lo and Shakira joined forces during the 2020 Super Bowl, J-Lo admitted they included a political message in the performance. During the set, J-Lo's daughter Emmy sang a few lines of Bruce Springsteen's Born in the USA, with Let's Get Loud. Then at the same time, kids looked to appear in small cages on the field behind a large fence. Some viewers noticed the kids in cages as an apparent reference to President Donald Trump's immigration policy of separating families at the US-Mexico border. After the show, J-Lo confirmed that was the intention, and the whole thing was planned to send a message to the government. She said, quote, "All I want my girls, the little girls on stage with me and all over the world to know is how to use their voices and be proud of everything they are. Other people can try to build walls, keep us out, or put us in cages. We are proud to recognize that all of us together are what makes this beautiful country truly great." And finally, number 1, Miley Cyrus. Miley Cyrus is a celebrity who's gone through a massive transformation in her years since becoming a celebrity. She used to be known as the innocent Hannah Montana on the Disney Channel, but as soon as she left Disney, she became Hollywood's wild child, because she's known for doing the unthinkable, like twerking on Robin Thicke at the VMAs. Because of all this, she is banned from performing in the Dominican Republic. According to the AP, government officials deem that Miley, quote, "undertakes acts that go against morals and customs which are punishable by Dominican law, and thus she cannot perform in their country." And I'm sure the Dominican Republic is not the only country that feels this way, and does not want performances by Miley in their country. Because she's so unpredictable and not family friendly, I would assume she will not be asked to perform at the halftime show. And at number 10, Travis Scott. Travis has faced a lot of backlash in the past, as we've come to learn, between the offensive things that he said and his conduct during his concerts, and because of this, Travis very well could be blacklisted from performing at the Super Bowl. We have of course heard about what happened at Travis Scott's Astroworld concert last year. The rapper's performance ended in tragedy as the chaos that ensued during the concert left multiple people passed away and hundreds injured. 10 people lost their lives due to the events that unfolded, and many others are still recovering from their injuries, as well as the families of those affected still trying to cope with everything. There's a lot of footage circling the internet showing what happened that night, and the madness that occurred during the performance, with people showing the crowds of people and even some fans yelling to stop the show. After the incident, we found out that the Houston police chief actually warned Travis about crowd control prior to the event, expressing his concerns for public safety at the event. After people found this out, Travis started facing even more backlash, as fans said that if he really listened to this warning, these casualties could have been avoided. The NFL certainly wouldn't want to take a chance on Travis after this tragic incident. And at number 9, Kanye West. Kanye West isn't the nicest guy out there, and I think we all know that by now. Whether it's on stage or on Twitter, I'm sure we've seen Kanye West being pretty mean and offensive on multiple occasions. Remember the VMA incident where he stole Taylor Swift's spotlight after winning her award? We also have to mention his tweets as well. He's very outspoken online and has a tendency to offend people a lot. From his claims about Bill Cosby being an innocent man following his allegations, as well as his tweets bashing his own family members, Kanye doesn't hold back on this and has rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, making them hate him. Because of all the backlash that he's faced, as well as his unpredictable nature, the NFL probably will have him banned so as not to risk the success of their halftime show. And at number 8, Marilyn Manson. Marilyn Manson is known for his alt metal music and unique style, but he's also someone that a lot of people have come to hate. Actress Evan Rachel Wood came out earlier last year to name the singer as the person who inflicted harm upon her, accusing him of manipulating and brainwashing her from a young age. The actress posted a testimony to her Instagram calling Manson, as well as the industry, out for his actions and for enabling him all this time. In the past, Evan Rachel Wood has spoken out about the fact that she was in a toxic relationship and has detailed some of the horrifying things that she experienced, but she never named him until that time. In a published testimony, she said, quote, "He broke me down through means of starvation, sleep deprivation, and threats against my life, sometimes with weapons, which would result in me having severe panic attacks where I was unable to breathe or stop shaking." She also said that he had her phone tapped and had threats made against her loved ones. Manson has lost all credibility in the industry as well as in general public, so as a result I wouldn't be surprised if he never held another live performance again, especially not at the Super Bowl. In at number 7, Sinead O'Connor. In October of 1992, Sinead O'Connor caused some controversy during her guest spot on SNL. She was brought on the show to be its musical guest, and already people were a little confused by her as she refused to sing one of her songs from her recent album at the time. She instead opted to sing an a cappella version of Bob Marley's song War. It was an intense performance, and she even changed some of the lyrics to specifically mention young people. As the song came to an end and she was wrapping up her performance, she pulled out a photo of Pope John Paul II and tore it up, saying, quote, "Fight the real enemy." Sinead's actions caused a huge stir. After her performance, NBC started receiving thousands of angry calls over the following days, and even some celebrities came forward to criticize Sinead's actions. There have already been many scandals in the past when it comes to the halftime show, and the network has been known to get many complaints, so they probably don't want to hire Sinead to perform, even if she was a guest. Because of her past controversies, they probably banned Sinead from performing at the Super Bowl. And at number 6, DaBaby. Last year, rapper DaBaby caused a big uproar in the LGBT+ community. He got into quite the controversy after he said some pretty offensive things while on stage performing at Rolling Loud in Miami. While on the stage, the rapper made offensive comments about the gay community, as well as HIV and AIDS, calling it a, quote, "deadly sexually transmitted disease that'll make you die in 2-3 weeks. He also went on to say some more homophobic things about gay men that also added fuel to the fire. This was a huge scandal at the time, and so because of that and the nature of the comments he made, the people who organized the Super Bowl probably won't want to have the rapper perform at the halftime show, and they have him banned. Maybe not forever, but certainly for now. Halfway number 5, Akon. Rapper Akon once got so mad at a fan that he threw him off stage. And I don't mean he was escorted, I mean he literally picked someone up and threw them. The whole incident went down in 2007 at one of his performances at the Duchess Stadium. A 15-year-old fan threw an object at Akon from the audience, and this really made him mad. He had people bring the kid up on stage just for Akon to pick him up and chuck him off it. As a result of the incident, Akon was given a $350 fine and was ordered to complete 65 hours of community service. This kind of behavior definitely wouldn't be tolerated at the Super Bowl. The NFL might think that Akon could react in a similar way if something went wrong, and Akon snapped again, and they probably don't want to risk another meltdown. He probably won't be invited to perform at the big game. And at number 4, Billie Joe Armstrong. In 2012, Green Day was performing at the iHeartRadio Music Festival, and things got heated. According to the band's frontrunner, Billie Joe Armstrong, the show's producers had allegedly cut the band's set time down from 45 minutes to just 25. This obviously didn't sit right with him, and as he watched the timer count down as he and the band performed, that just made him angry to the point where he sort of threw a tantrum when the band was down to its last minute of set time. Billy kept shouting, "1 minute left," over and over again, and went on to say that he's been around since '88, hinting that since he's been around for so long, he deserves respect. Then in a fit of rage, he took his guitar by the neck and began smashing it on the stage until it broke. He then threw his mic and stormed off stage. Much like Akon's on-stage meltdown, the NFL probably wouldn't want to risk something bad happening on stage, and so the Green Day frontrunner could be on the list of banned celebrities. And at number 3, Janet Jackson. The Super Bowl halftime show is one moment a year that millions of people tune in to watch at the same time. People turn off their reality TV programs and reruns of Jeopardy to grab a snack and watch the year's biggest performance. Well, during the 2004 Super Bowl halftime show, viewers watched a serious wardrobe malfunction happen that was life-changing to say the least. Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake were performing together when a move went wrong, and Janet's breasts ended up being exposed. Following the incident, the media dubbed Nipplegate, the FCC sued CBS for the live incident and a $550,000 lawsuit citing indecent exposure for their cause. Janet Jackson was put through the ringer for her part in the whole scandal. As a result, she was uninvited to the Grammy Awards that year and her songs were blacklisted from the radio. Even the next few albums she released following the incident was met with negative reviews because of the scandal. After this huge scandal, Janet faced some pretty big setbacks and many people thought that she was permanently banned from the Super Bowl. This could be true, but since it's been so many years, we really can't know for sure. And at number 2, 50 Cent. Back in 2016, rapper 50 Cent got in some trouble while in the Caribbean after saying some colorful language on stage at one of his concerts. It all happened during one of his performances while in St. Kitts. In St. Kitts, the use of profanity in public is illegal, and so when it came to his concert, he was told that he had to refrain from using any adult language while on stage. But during one of his songs, he mistakenly said the word mother effer in front of the audience of 40,000 people, and it was a huge no-no. He was allowed to finish the rest of his set, but he was promptly arrested after the show. In his defense, 50 Cent said that he didn't have a clean version of the song and he forgot to move his mic away from his mouth when he said the word. Because the halftime show was broadcast live, networks want to make sure that the show is somewhat family friendly, and since 50 Cent has been in a scandal for using profanity in public before, he could be banned from performing just to be on the safe side. And finally, at number 1, the Red Hot Chili Peppers. The Super Bowl seems to be pretty good at creating scandals. Whether it's related to the game itself or the halftime show, there's bound to be some kind of trending moment during the event. And in 2014, there was a scandalous moment during the halftime performance by the band the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Even though during their performance it looked like everyone was jamming out hardcore and having a good time, it turns out that was all pretty much fake. The band was exposed after it was revealed that they performed with their instruments unplugged and pre-recorded setlists playing over them. After they got exposed, they explained that they pre-recorded their performance as to ensure that nothing went wrong, but somehow, even with those precautions, they still ended up in a bit of hot water with fans. Now they could be banned after this scandal. Though it wasn't major, the backlash was still there and fans might not want to tune in again to see another performance flop, and obviously the NFL doesn't want to see that, so they wouldn't let them back.
Starting off this countdown, we have Paris Hilton. In 2008, Paris Hilton was banned from attending the Oscars. She thought her 1.1 rating film The Hottie and the Naughty was big enough to land her a seat at the award show. Sadly, it wasn't. According to a source, and I quote, Paris cried hot salty tears when she was banned from the Oscars. She's desperate to be taken seriously as an actress and hoped she would be able to network with film executives. Another source revealed that Paris and a number of other women were banned from the Oscars to prevent the evening from turning into, and I quote, down-market scrum. Not scum, scrum. That's insane. But don't feel too bad for Paris, she still managed to sneak into the after parties. Coming in at number 9, we have Pamela Anderson. Pamela Anderson was another woman banned from the Oscars in an attempt to keep it more classy. The same source as I previously mentioned said Pamela Anderson was another woman they banned to prevent the evening turning into down-market scrum. Frankly, they are scrum for doing this. The source continued on saying, and I quote, they plan to focus on those people who have worked in the film industry for years, not people who are merely celebrities in other areas. In our 8th spot, we have Morgan Wallen. American country music singer Morgan Wallen was banned from the 2021 Billboard Music Awards after a leaked video surfaced showing him using a racial slur. He was banned despite receiving 6 nominations that year. The award show announced that they were banning Morgan, and I quote, as his conduct does not align with our core values, we will not be including him on the show in any capacity. This isn't the first time he got banned from an award show though. On February 3rd, the Academy of Country Music announced that he was not going to participate in the 56th annual award show. They said, and I quote, the Academy does not condone or support intolerance or behavior that doesn't align with our commitment and dedication to diversity and inclusion. So it looks like Morgan is banned from a couple of award shows, and who knows if he'll ever be invited back. In our 7th spot, we have Miley Cyrus. I don't know if you noticed, but Miley Cyrus was missing from the 2020 Grammy Awards. Now, some artists chose to skip the show for their own personal reasons, but it seems like Miley just wasn't invited. On Instagram, Cyrus posted a throwback clip of her performance from the 2013 MTV EMAs. She captioned the video, and we wonder why I'm not invited to award shows anymore. In the video, we see Cyrus light up a joint on stage and take a couple of drags. Could this be why award shows aren't inviting her? Because of her past award show behavior?
Seems like it. Miley's celebrity friends were quick to like her video and post encouraging comments like, "Don't ever change," and "I'd invite you first, TBH." Honestly, Miley's just a good time. Like, let's start a petition to get her unbanned. In our 6th spot, we have Kevin Hart. Back in 2019, Kevin Hart was scheduled to be the host for the 2019 Academy Awards. However, old homophobic tweets of his from 2009 and 2011 resurfaced online, and he was immediately blasted. Just to give you an idea of how controversial his tweets were, one of them from 2011 said, and I quote, "Yo, if my son comes home and tries to play with my daughter's dollhouse, I'm going to break it over his head and say in my voice, 'Stop, that's gay.'" To make matters worse, Hart even did stand-up routines talking about how he was scared that his son was going to be gay. Now, instead of apologizing and attempting to keep his role as the host, Kevin voluntarily stepped down and said he will not apologize for his past tweets. He said he's done apologizing for them. He said, and I quote, "There's no more conversation about it. I'm over that. I'm over the moment. I'm not giving no more explanation of who I am. I'm just done." I don't think Hart will be getting an invite in the future, but who knows. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with Bill Cosby. In 2018, Bill Cosby was unwelcome at the Emmys. The Academy said that they are erasing his name from the Emmys website and removing his bust display. Now, they didn't say he was officially banned from the show, they just said that he's not welcome there, which basically means you're not invited. Don't come, don't show up, we don't want you here. This is due to the fact that Bill Cosby has taken advantage of a number of women throughout the years. In our 4th spot today, we have Tekashi 6ix9ine. In 2018, Nicki Minaj was invited to perform at the MTV VMAs. She was invited to sing her song Fifi, which was originally a Tekashi 6ix9ine song featuring Nicki Minaj, but later turned into a Nicki song featuring Tekashi 6ix9ine. But Nicki Minaj didn't want to perform the song without him, so she tried her best to swing it so that he attends the MTV VMAs with her. But sadly, he never got approved by the officials. Nicki ended up revealing on one episode of Queen Radio that, and I quote, "I don't want anyone to think for a second that I wouldn't invite him to perform his hit record. I want everyone to know my character. I wanted him to perform with me at the VMAs, and somewhere along the line he didn't get approved to perform by the powers that be." In our 3rd spot, we have Ricky Gervais. If you watched the 2020 Golden Globes, then you know exactly why Ricky is on today's list. He took the opportunity as the host to make jokes about Hollywood. He called a number of people perverts and joked about serious scandals and issues in the industry. A lot of attendees were left completely shocked by his speech. And I guess so were the officials behind the Oscars. When it was time for the 93rd Academy Awards, Ricky was not invited. He poked fun at this by tweeting his speech from the Golden Globes and captioning it, "It's the Oscars tonight. I wasn't invited. Was this something I said?" Coming in at number 2, we have Marilyn Manson. Now, this one isn't that shocking considering that the Antichrist superstar has done some pretty controversial things over the years. You know, like taking a broken beer bottle and cutting himself open on stage with it, or urinating on the crowd. That alone is why he doesn't get invited to award shows. But just recently, 5 women came forward saying Marilyn was abusive towards them. One of the women was his former partner, Evan Rachel Wood. Due to these allegations, his guest star appearances in a number of shows have been removed, like American Gods and Creepshow. So if they're removing his scenes in shows, there's no way they're inviting him to any award shows. And in our number 1 spot today, we have Kevin Spacey. Back in 2017, actor Anthony Rapp claimed that when he was 14, Spacey made a sexual advancement towards him. This empowered other victims to come forward. Over the years, a number of men have come forward claiming that Kevin Spacey tried to make advancements on them or that he has taken advantage of them. Kevin Spacey is now blacklisted from Hollywood and will not be attending any award shows anytime soon.